Yes! 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 Finally! Finally! Coco's popping off, snap, crackle, and popping off away from the Tottenham, away from Spurs. He's heading to Spain, heading to Seville to fill up on some paella, and I can tell you, it's probably about 5 years too late, but at the same time, better late than never. Hey, NarendraTheComic here, right now we're just going to be talking about some big news for Tottenham Hotspur, right? Last week there was some huge news. The South Korean king decided to put pen to paper. Son HEUNG-MIN, HEUNG-MIN Son decided to stay at Spurs for another 4 years, and I can only say thank you very, 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 very much. From the bottom of my heart, this is what Spurs needed, because it's looking like Kane might go. He might stay, he might go. We don't know the situation with that. But with Son putting pen to paper, I couldn't think of anything probably better than that. But what happened today is maybe just below that, and that's Erik Lamela finally leaving Tottenham Hotspur. He's gone. He's gone. He's no more. As I so affectionately called him, the Chupacabra, because the guy would just seem like he was going to bite people at any given time. Maybe I'm being stereotypical there. He just had that type of feeling about him whenever you looked at him. It's like, nah, he's going to do something a bit nutty. He's going to do something a bit wrong. But, like, some people will like him. I know he's a very divisive figure in the fan base. Some people love him. Some people swear by him. Some people stand by him. I'm not one of those people, all right? I think he is incredibly overhyped. And at the same time, it was going to be impossible for him to stand up to what Gareth Bale did in his last season at Spurs. And he was the person who was supposed to come in and change the game for us. He was the one. He was the one out of that magnificent 7 group, that group of 7 players who came in, who was supposed to be the lad who would do it for Spurs and change us and take us to that next level. Turns out, Christian Eriksen was that lad, and for me, he was always that lad from the start. When we got him for like 13 million or something, I said, oh, that's a steal. Well done, Mr. Levy. Well done. You've got a player there. Even with Nasser Chadli, I thought he was decent. He was never going to be a long-term fit for Spurs. He wasn't a world beater, but I did think he was decent. He's had a good career. He's played for Belgium. But forget everything else. This is about Erik Lamela, the man, the myth, the legend. As I wrote down here, I wrote inconsistent, impulsive, incredible. And I think all those 3 words are applicable to that man in that order. And I think that's the most crucial part, because he was one of the most inconsistent players I've ever seen in my life. I can't think of anyone who was more touch and go than him. He got injured a lot, so you can't blame that. Maybe I can add that I to that list of inconsistent, impulsive, incredible, and injured. But that's not really his fault, I guess. That's just his body breaking down. I can't blame him for that. But I can say, when he came in for that fee of, I think, around £30 million, it was a record-breaking fee for Spurs. I didn't like him. I didn't think he was going to fit the Spurs style. I didn't think he was ever going to reach the heights that was expected of him. And whenever I watched him for the first couple of years, I thought, there's something there. There is a spark, but I don't know if this guy's going to be able to tame it, right? And I think that was proven throughout his time at Spurs. The fact he always held on to the ball too long. He never released the ball at the right time. You could never believe him to do that at any given time. He would always just cling onto it and want to run with it and then get dispossessed and then try and get it back and get a yellow card in trying to get it back, right? He was a very, very aggressive player. Some people like that side of the game. Some people don't. I think, hey, it's part of the game. And he plays that game extremely, extremely rashly, occasionally getting the red card, occasionally playing very, very dirty. And that's something which he really excelled at, the dirty play. Thinking about the handful of times, stepping on Cesc Fabregas's hand, getting, who was it? Martial sent off, and then having a fight in the Arsenal game those years ago. Was he in the Battle of the Bridge? I can't remember if he was there. Or maybe he was. I don't know. But he was one of those players who could have those sparks of genius, which is why I'm saying incredible at the end there. But they were just too few and far between. He wouldn't produce it on any type of regular basis. He can score a Rabona in the Europa League. And I think that Rabona was even better. Most people would think so, than the goal against Arsenal he scored. The guy had talent. But I think there are 2 players who came in at similar times at Spurs. Son HEUNG-MIN and Erik Lamela. And one of them adapted. One of them grew. One of them became less selfish. And that was HEUNG-MIN Son. Because that guy, when he first came, he wasn't releasing the ball. He wasn't playing for the team. I really don't feel he was. But within 1 season, a season and a half, he had a complete 180 shift and was playing for the team, making the runs, making sure he released the ball when it was necessary. Something Lamela just never, ever did. And I think that's one of the reasons why he never got a run in the team once the front four of Kane, Ali, Son and Eriksen got going for 2 seasons or so, because you couldn't replace any of those players with him, even though technically maybe he was better than some of those players, technically. But he just didn't have the performance and the drive to get the job done. I still remember making a video about Spurs versus Juventus in the Champions League, and I think it was 2017-18, where we could have gone through if Lamela had put his body on the line and committed. I think any Spurs fan would have committed to taking a ball shot to get the ball over the line. The guy didn't do it, and I never saw him the same since then. I didn't exactly think he was great before then, but after that I was like, enemy number one, Erik Lamela. Maybe it was his own mental block, maybe it was his own situation he had that he didn't think he could do it, maybe the injuries really did hamper his mentality, and that's a real thing. I'm not saying that's a joke, I'm saying that's serious. Those things can really cause problems for you. You not believing you can do something because you think my body's gonna break if I make that sprint. But I do feel the guy didn't live up to his potential, never scored enough goals, never assisted enough goals, never played enough, and considering we're getting a young potential, people are calling him Cruyff, people are calling this lad the young Messi. I have a caveat to that because people were calling Erik Lamela the young Messi back in the day, so I don't like that moniker and that tagline there. But Brian Hill, I don't know. Like, the name sounds like the guys from Dagenham, so I don't know exactly what's happening with his name. I do know he's Spanish, I do know he's played for a couple of seasons now, and I've watched some highlights of him. He looks like a decent little player. I don't know if he's going to be unbelievable and amazing, but he's definitely an upgrade on Lamela. He can play on the right, Son on the left, maybe Kane up front, maybe Ings up front, a handful of other players are possible up front. I don't know if Kane is going to stay. But if he does stay, especially with the Atalanta keeper coming in, as well as the centre-back Romeo, I don't know. The guy's a good player. We seem to be spending good money. This new technical sports director, I don't know what his exact name is. I'm not Italian, I can't say it. Peritucci, nah, it begins with a P, doesn't it? I don't know. What I do know is, maybe his recruitment is good, and maybe this might convince Kane to stay. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, the Chupacabra himself, Erik Lamela, gonna come after you. You don't want that. He'll pop over to you before he goes to Spain, take a bite, the goat eater. I think that's what it's called. You don't want that. You really don't, so just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been NarendraTheComic. You've been great. We'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, make a video every single day. Been doing it every day for over 1,000 days now. We ain't stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe. Pop back again tomorrow for some more quality shitty content, because we're hashtag never know it. Just how it goes. Also bring the Bukwas means nonsense in Punjabi, and we also bring that. Bring a lot. Bring a little, do a lot, do a little, but we do indeed bring the quality shitty content on a daily basis. So see you tomorrow. More of the same. Slightly different, but essentially the very same. Once more. See you then. Skadoosh.